Hi everyone, welcome back to another layout and another episode in the series, A Year with My Gnomies. You might find this funny, but here's a little inside information. Every time I go to do the voiceover, which is a couple times for this one, or I guess actually every time I've gone to do a voiceover with this Gnomies, Year with My Gnomies collection at all, I always want to call it crafting with my gnomies because I did the crafting with my gnomies, and every time I have to start my voiceover over multiple times. It's just a little bit of a, what do you call that when they do like they show all the bad pieces of like the news or something that goes wrong. Anyways, whatever. Um, Going to tell you right now, if you are new to this series, I do put the page sizes or pieces, the sizes, which is something that I don't normally do with my channel. And I really wish I wouldn't have done with this one. It's kind of been a pain in my butt, to be honest with you. A lot of it has to do with the way, and I've mentioned this in the other videos of this, because this series did not go as smoothly. While I love all of the layouts, it just did not go as smoothly as I had anticipated. So if you were following along with that, I will say to save yourself a lot of stress, although I've kind of got the measurements for you already, so you could just make sure to really measure everything before you cut. But just to say, if you want to make your life a lot easier, you might get more than I bought. So that will bring me to, somebody did ask the question, how many of the paper packs did I buy to go with this collection? So that kind of has two answers. The paper packs are separate, but the solids all, no. The pattern papers all come together with the sticker sheets. And the solids come with, like, I think 12 of them in there. And so I bought one of the pattern paper. So every month the pattern paper you see came from one pattern paper. So I do have an introduction video if you want to go back and learn more about what all I bought. But again, if you're new, um, the pattern paper collection kit comes with two of each sheet, and they have different designs. Again, please watch the intro video to learn more about that. But I did also buy two of the solids packs. So again, going back to saying, if you were going to do this layout, I would almost suggest getting two of the pattern papers and possibly even three of the solids. Now, although I will say now, thinking about it, like I made this photo mat out of black paper, which was the opposite of the red. There's things like that, I mean, if you had the same colored cardstock, pull it in, that type of thing. So, but if you really, really want to make it easier or have more paper, you can obviously make what I'm doing work because I'm doing it, but when I put the measurements, you might have noticed things that said gutted. So the pattern paper is this side and then gutted. And what I mean by that is I just basically made like a T, not a T, an L. So you can see there I cut the L shape. So the edges, the left side edge and the top edge of this one are the sizes that I wrote or had on the screen a minute ago. But you can see it's not fully that piece. So I am following along with most of what they have for July for their sample layout, except for there's one part which you will see that I'm going to start working on here in a moment. But it is the kind of the right hand side of the left hand page. So all I'm working on right now is the left hand page. In fact, I know that I want to follow what they have for their samples so much that I'm even going to start kind of working on the clusters a little bit before even starting the right hand page. Because usually I put all the papers down and then I start with the clusters. But anyways, you'll see. On the right hand though, let me think about what I'm trying to say here. On the right side of this 2-photo block, these are both 4x6 photos, by the way, and the mat is about 1/8 of an inch bigger because I don't know that exactly for sure, but I did use my layering guides by We Are Memory Keepers for them. But anyways, where I am working right now on their sample layout, they have what looks to be like almost a 6-inch tall by 2.5-inch wide white blank piece. And I think that they are trying to depict that as a journaling spot. I think that I was originally thinking I could just add photos here, or that, hey, I'd be able to pull something out, but nothing that I was doing really ended up looking right to me. So what I'm going to decide is to go ahead and make it a journaling block, but I didn't really want to, I don't think that I had as much to say about, I mean, I could fill it up, but I don't even know what I was thinking at the time. But I didn't want to use the size that they did. And I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. So I'm going to go ahead. I try this journaling piece, and I didn't think I would like the journaling piece because of the watermelon, but actually I really liked it. Now the problem was I needed to fill in that gap between the journaling piece and the red strip. So I am looking around and I see this 4th of July celebration. Fun fact, this is the second time or third time I'm trying to do this voiceover. It's not going the greatest. But the first time I was doing it, I realized that I actually put 2 titles on my double page layout. It's okay. That's okay. But I do have that 4th of July celebration card, which is supposed to be a title. And then on the other side, I'm going to add something as well. But that's okay. I'm not going to fix it. I love the layouts, and I think it's just something because on occasion when I go back, how many times do you really go back and look at your layouts? If you do, that's great. But ever since I've started doing voiceovers, I kind of have to watch the screen and watch what I'm doing so I know what to tell you I'm doing. And I've noticed quite a few times some mistakes that I've made over the couple of years that I've had my channel. So it can be kind of entertaining. I realized that the first voiceover I was doing, and I started laughing about it. So sorry you missed out on that, but it's a much better voiceover so far, trust me. Anyways, so I am going to add this cluster. Oh, first I want to talk about the border strip. So you noticed I put part of a border. So in the top right of the screen, or along the left-hand side of the page, is that kind of banner, red, white, and blue banner piece. And that was a border strip that came on their pattern paper. So each pattern paper at the bottom, you can see like the 4th of July one that's sitting there now on the left-hand side of the screen, and that kind of checkered one. Those were also border strips. So each pattern paper has not each pattern paper, but there's, for each collection, each month, there's 2 full borders, and then like the month, and then something else. So I did fussy cut that border. Now, because I am doing this on a white background, I didn't have to, and you don't have to either if you're following along. The white on white would be not very noticeable at all. So I did think about leaving it, but then I think I just kind of thought, nah, I'm going to fussy cut it. So to be completely honest with you, I know some of you absolutely hate fussy cutting. Some of you don't mind it. I don't usually mind it, but with that banner, it was super simple. It looks like it might be a lot of work, but where the red meets the paper at the end of like the banner, I mean, it's sideways on the page now, so it's kind of hard to say, but literally it's like a wavy red. And so I just there was times when I noticed I wasn't even following, because once you get a few little ways into it, you're kind of getting this motion to keep waving your cuts back and forth. So because it is like a wavy border, it was so easy to fussy cut. And I mean, like I said, I messed up on it and no big deal. So but you wouldn't have to, because the other part of it was white. So now I'm working on the right-hand side of this double page. I'm adding, so on the left-hand page was two white, or not white photos, two photo mats, white photo mats that are 4x6 and they are horizontal. So on the right-hand side of the double page that I'm working on now, I'm doing one vertical 4x6 with three 3x4 photos. And all three of the 3x4 photos are horizontal as well. And I'm kind of, in a way, mimicking what's on the left-hand page. So again, here I'm going to come to the part where I've got to have the pattern paper. I want it to look somewhat similar, but I also didn't really want to mat all of the 3x4 photos. I have two left. I didn't really want to have to mat them on black cardstock. To me, that would have felt like too much black cardstock. So there is this, and also that 4th of July celebration that's on the left-hand page has a pattern paper border around it. So I figured I would go ahead, and I did measure this before doing this. So like I said, if you're following along, measure twice. I'm going to pick two different pattern papers, and I'm going to go ahead and mat those two 3x4 photos on pattern paper. So it definitely mimics the left page of the layout. Normally, I was thinking about it, and I don't know why I didn't this time. Oh, I think that's why, because I think that I had to cut, nope, that's not why either. Sorry, I did these layouts way back in December of last year, so I'm trying to remember what I was thinking at the time. But normally, like if I was doing a double page where I'm just going to mimic what I did on the left, on the right-hand page, I would like swap them, kind of like, what's the right word? Rotate or flip the design so that what I did on the left-hand page or the left corner of the left-hand page, I would do on the right corner of the right-hand page. I really, really hope that makes sense because my mind is at a loss for words. I warned you. I warned you a minute ago that my voiceovers tonight are not up to par. And if you're still sticking in there with me, thank you. I need all the support I can get. I'm just kidding. So here I'm kind of measuring more and gonna do the same thing. I kind of gut the paper. So be very careful. This one, it happened to work out. I didn't necessarily make just an L shape. I made kind of a all over, let's cut it so it fits shape. So you can see there that it had, but I needed to fill in the space. If I would have cut it just into an L, it wouldn't have fit because you can see if I move that black photo mat over, then the two red pieces are not going to line up. And I tried, and this is why I say if you had the third solid paper pack, you could cut this and make it no problem, easy as a breeze, but it just, it was a little bit of work. So it's also part of the reason I didn't necessarily flip. So on the left-hand page, you're going to have the black photo mat and with kind of the 3x4 journaling, and on the right-hand page, you're going to have the black photo mat with the 3x4 pictures. But because the pattern paper has kind of been flipped, it works. So on the left-hand side, the pattern paper is on the left of the black photo mat, but on the right-hand page, it's going to be on the right of the photo mat. So please let me know if I'm not making sense and I need to go back and totally redo this voiceover again, even though I don't really know when I'll have time. But anyways, I hope if nothing else, you guys are getting a laugh out of it, right? By the way, thank you to everybody who, there's a lot of you seem to like this series. I don't know if it's one I would do again if they came out with another collection, and only because I really like a lot of the layouts, but this is a great way to get some pictures used up. So if you want to get some pictures used up or caught up on a bunch of stuff, then hey, do something like this. But what I, at the same time, I have other collections I want to use. So, but oh well, we'll just have to see what comes along, right? Maybe they'll do another one. It'll be totally amazing. Now I'm adding the photo mat, and here you can see I didn't put the pattern paper down first because I didn't exactly know where the photo mat would have to be versus where the pattern paper was going to have to be to fill in between all of those red strips. So I kind of laid one down, and there you can see I'm trimming it down just a little bit more, but because it is all hidden behind the photo mat, it really didn't matter how I cut it. So yeah, that is the basis of the right-hand page. And again, with all my, I know I've mentioned this in another video, but in case you didn't see that video, with all of my gnomes, I am popping them up with foam tape. I popped up that 4th of July celebration card on foam tape because I don't have enough gnomes. Let me see. Yeah, so I believe this is the month that didn't have, I think there's only one gnome and sticker. And a lot of the other months, I think there's at least 2 or 3. But so I only had the one gnome, and he's by a barbecue. But I did have another sticker, which is a lemon on a cooler. And I think it has a watermelon. No, I think I added the watermelon. Oh yeah, I added a watermelon in a few clusters. So here is where I'm going to be a little tricky with this, and I'm going to use this tag in one of the clusters because the tag has the gnome. And you can see there's that lemonade on the water cooler, so that's going to go there. But I definitely felt like it needed the gnome, and plus I kind of like the fireworks, and I just like that tag anyway. I'm going to also add this banner to this page so that it mimics. So this is another thing that is kind of opposite of the other of their page. So on the left page, it's on the left, and on the right page, it's on the right. And here you can see where I've completely messed up and made that top red piece too big. So I am literally, as you can see there, I'm just cutting that sucker and I'm calling it good. And I'm going to cover it up. Now there is a little bump because of the pattern paper under that border sticker, but it doesn't bother me in the least. So yeah, that's another thing. Measure. It's a good thing, unless you're following my measurements, measure twice, even if you are following mine. So you might also notice that above the 4th of July celebration, I added one of the words that's a green. It's not a sticker. Behind each of the pattern papers, not only did they all have a border, but they all had like 8 to 10 word phrases. And so you can cut them down and make them look like word stickers very easily. So anyways, I wanted the green one there. And the reason for that is because the gnome that's by the barbecue has green pants on. There's green in the pattern paper. I think, just trying to look at it here, the gnomes and the watermelons. So there's a lot of green. So not only did I pull in the color black, but I'm pulling in the color green. So to do that, I have the green pants on the gnome on the left. Plus I liked the word hamburgers and hot dogs because in my family, we almost always have a barbecue on the 4th of July, and it's almost always hamburgers, hot dogs, or a combination thereof. So I loved that saying. And so to bring that green around to the rest of the pages, I'm going to add it. It's on the watermelon that I added by the ice chest or the cooler. And it's also on a watermelon piece that I'm going to add up here in this cluster with the firework. And then I'm going to use a few more of the word. There are a few word stickers you could probably see there, but I am going to use more of the word. You can kind of see a couple more of them up there on the top of the screen. So I'm going to use some of those, but it doesn't matter. The other thing I'm going to add this word boom. I really liked this word boom, you know, because that's fireworks right there, right? And I must just not have really been thinking, but I think this is where I'm going to start working on my second title. So on that sticker sheet, you get the word July and 4th. And I also, I think, felt like it needed something kind of over the left of the watermelon that's by the ice chest. Uh, so I'm going to put 4th of July there too. Actually, not that I mind that it's there, but I could put, that could be kind of like a subtitle, like, and put the year next to it. And for whatever photos I use, I could use that year. So it's like 4th of July, 2020 or something like that. So I might do that. And basically, other than adding the star stickers around, that is my double page layout. I hope you guys were thoroughly entertained by my horrible voiceover. I don't think it was too bad. I'm hoping anyways. If it's too bad, maybe I can go back and redo it, but probably not. So anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I will see you guys in the next video. This is the month of July, and don't forget at the end of these photos of the layout is the photos of my scraps and the calendar pieces that I made with the calendar. So, all right, everyone. With that, I will say good night. I will see you next time, and thank you for watching. Oh, and by the way, I just kind of used a die cut to make the stars on this calendar piece, so that was not part of the kit. All right, bye.